Okay. This is a test. Hopefully, y'all can hear me pretty good. Of course, welcome to a StreamYard version of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox. Today, I'm going to go ahead and go over a whole lot of subjects, particularly my Pittsburgh Steelers to start off with. And then I will go over some things that are actually happening in the boxing world as well. This is my first time, I believe, on StreamYard hosting. So, y'all excuse some technical mishaps or, anything that was obvious that StreamYard, veterans actually use that I'm not. Of course, this is a learning process for me. So just bear with me, y'all. I'm happy to have y'all on the show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So, of course, the first and obvious piece of news is going to be my Pittsburgh Steelers actually trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. I have a very strong opinion about this, and it's not really going to be popular. Okay. I am an avid Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I've been a fan since 95. So, I'd be a 30-year fan by this September. Now, with my Steelers, we've obviously had ups and downs, excitement and disappointments that comes with the territory as far as being a fan. And I get that. But recently there have been some moves that have actually been made that I don't necessarily agree with. For instance, this particular move, trading someone that was probably needed for team continuity what words am I looking for? We're trading away someone that we actually needed for two people that we basically wanted. Is the best way to actually put something like that. So, having said that, I just don't necessarily agree with that type of tactic, and I don't really understand the logic behind that. I mean, I do from probably a business standpoint. I'm thinking that, to be honest, Minkah's contract was for 2 more years, and I think we were paying him out $18 million a year for his services. Now, a lot of detractors will say that, okay, well, Minkah hasn't put up a whole lot of splash plays and quote unquote, therefore he may not be worth the money. That is the thinking of someone that hasn't really actually watched the games, like game film, basically. Like, this person is supposed to be doing this job on this play, that type of thing. I think sometimes when we watch games as fans, we have these unrealistic expectations that that just kind of warp what should actually be going on. Oh man, I got a special surprise. It's my brother Jared R11 Green, man. How you doing, brother?
What's good, Brent? What's good, man?
I'm
Ain't
doing all
nothing.
right, man. I'm over here talking about Minkah Fitzpatrick in the trade, man.
That was a crazy trade,
Saying,
man.
yeah, I just got through saying that we're basically trading someone that we actually need for two people that we actually wanted, and that's not logical to me from even a business standpoint. And what I was getting into was that even though Minkah wasn't making a whole lot of splash plays, that he did a lot of cleanup work, especially on our defense and our secondary in particular. So I know that his team continuity is going to be missed. More importantly, his leadership is going to be missed, and then his dedication to the team is definitely going to be missed as well, regardless of what free agent we get. So, I was just going over those points.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. I can go as far as saying Micah Fitzpatrick was one of the best DBs as far as reading Lamar Jackson eyes, especially in the red zone. Um,
Yeah.
he was very good if Lamar Jackson was trying to fit the ball in. I seen him multiple games pick Lamar Jackson off. So my
Mhm.
thing is that safety position that he played for y'all wasn't the issue. So that was definitely a big surprise for me. Y'all trading him away.
Yeah, man, and to be quite honest with you, uh Omar actually got signed. I think he got signed to a 2 or 3 year extension, man. So I appreciate Omar taking these big swings, but the side effect with that when you're taking big swings, sometimes you don't know when to stop taking big swings. So, man,
Right.
I'm a little worried about the TJ situation, to be honest with you, Jared.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. So because I don't follow the Pittsburgh Steelers like that, of course. So that deal, that contract negotiations still going on with TJ.
Definitely, man. And it's not going well. It's not going
Uh
well,
oh.
man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's not going well at all. Um, and making these types of moves, I don't know how stable that is, but I'm gonna be honest with you, man. And you, my brother, and this is the only reason. This is the only reason I'm gonna tell you this, because I know you on that other side, man. But you, my brother, so I'm gonna just be honest with you because you're family. Um,
Right.
I am not so sure how this is actually going to work out. The last team full of like renegade free agents that was actually successful, I could probably say was maybe the LA Rams when they won their Super Bowl. But it took some weeks for them to try to get team continuity and try to get their stuff together before they actually made a pretty strong run. With these different personalities, man, I'm not sure if that's actually going to work out. There are plenty of examples where teams actually grab a whole bunch of renegade free agents and they try to make a run at something and it implodes. The Jacksonville Jaguars tried it. The Washington Redskins back in the day definitely tried it. And who else am I thinking of that had like a whole bunch of free agents and they just collapsed. I mean, hell, the Browns at one point the Browns at one point collapsed, man. So
You
there's
remember that?
there's more.
Yeah, you remember that Philadelphia Eagle team that had Vince Young as the backup quarterback, and they signed a whole bunch of free agents that
Oh, the
were like
Dream
former
Team.
Pro
Yeah, yeah,
Bowlers
yeah.
and everything. Yeah, the
The
Dream
Dream
Team,
Team
and it didn't mesh.
turned into a nightmare, didn't it?
Yes, it
Especially toward
did.
the end of the season, boy. Especially toward the end of the season. Everybody wanted out. Like, dang, ain't you signed to a 2 year contract? So yeah,
Right.
yeah, man, yeah, yeah. To your point, yes. On most occasions, it doesn't work out. And then after the Rams won that Super Bowl, I think they had a losing season. So, hey, salute, coach. Um, but yeah, after that, man, I think the Rams had a losing season. So I don't know how this is actually going to turn out. Still haven't said that, bro. We still splitting with y'all because we still gonna find a way to split. I'm still standing behind that statement. We still gonna split with y'all.
Be honest with you, last year, if you would have said that, I'll definitely agree with you. But this year, I'm not sure, man. I think we have the pieces. Um, I think we have the pieces on our roster to
Mm-hmm.
um, go 2-0 against y'all.
I mean,
Um,
on paper, sure. On paper,
yeah, on paper, and you know how that go. But just
yeah.
just just being totally honest, I'm not seeing Aaron Rodgers have to prove to me, and you know how it is, and I'm planning to um do behind enemy lines another episode um of that during the season um to tell you if I'm wrong or not, but um I don't see it. Not with Aaron Rodgers. Not with Aaron Rodgers. And then y'all
Oh,
lost.
okay. Well, I mean, yeah.
And then y'all lost Mika Fitzpatrick, which I believe he was other than T.J. Watt. He was the eyes and ears of that defense, the quarterback of the defense. Um, for an older cornerback who's
No, okay.
in a couple of years may not even be on the roster. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Of course, I'm making my speculation. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I believe.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You will be totally wrong, but you know, hey, you put up a convincing argument, bro. Oh man. But
I'm sorry, man. I
yeah, I
just
think yes.
I like Mike Tomlin, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to explain why I think that. I like Mike Tomlin. Like he had Duck Hodges on the squad that beat us one year. I just think
Mm-hmm.
the I'm just judging what we have as far as the Baltimore Ravens on the pieces we have on our roster. We should not let y'all beat us this year. We shouldn't. We're geared up. We're preparing to face the Josh Allens, the um, uh, Patrick Mahomes,
Patrick
even
Mahomes.
the Philadelphia Eagles when we see them in the Super Bowl or the playoffs. You know what I mean? So we getting ready for
Mm-hmm.
that type of war. We shouldn't let a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers take our defense apart. We shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. And see, that, my brother, is exactly why we're gonna split. You're gonna be so busy looking ahead, but you're not gonna be focused on your opponent, and then yeah.
And that could be very possible, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But that could be very possible. Very possible.
Nah, yeah, we'll definitely split. Cause regardless of how good one team is and how bad the other, and y'all was bad. Um, but yeah, y'all still managed to beat us, and we still wound up splitting with y'all. And that was during the Killer B era when we had everybody. So yeah, yeah,
That's
I
true.
don't put it past. I don't put it past you or us. We just gonna split. That's just what it is.
I hear you.
Yeah. But just talking a little bit further about these Pittsburgh Steelers, just hang in there with me, man. We'll get to another subject here in a bit. Um
Hey, it's your show, man.
I yeah, I again am very, very concerned about team continuity because especially in an NFL where everybody is ultra talented and has these natural abilities and gifts. You have to have team continuity to separate your team from everyone else's team. And I just don't see that getting done by a group of renegades. And yes, I'm going to keep referring to them as a group of renegades because they renegade free agents. Like these people, some of them, especially Jalen Ramsey, don't have such a positive history with us. Jalen Ramsey had been trashing his team for years with an S, and now all of a sudden we're head over heels, uh, to try to get him in the locker room. We have a team detonation device in Aaron Rodgers that we unnecessarily bent over backwards for to try to get. Now he's in the locker room, and this is no offense to this man, but Jonnu Smith was somebody that we didn't necessarily need, and we're doubling his salary so he could be on the team. Meanwhile, we haven't resolved our own issues with a generational pass rusher and team icon TJ Watt, and we're trying to make it look like even he can be expendable. Like, this is insane. Like, again, I appreciate most of the time the very aggressive nature of Omar Khan, and trying to get guys in here that could actually help level up the team. But at the same time, the guys you are picking don't, to me, have the personality type that blend well with like the team atmosphere in the city of Pittsburgh. But I would love to be wrong on that. I really would.
One way to find out, man, like you said, is all about chemistry. And then for the contract situation, man, we just got finished, 1 or 2 years back with the contract negotiation issues with Lamar Jackson. So, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but TJ Watt is your defense.
Yeah,
I would love to see him
don't win games without him.
I would love to see him go, because I don't want to keep seeing him, but that's not. I don't think that's not going. I don't think your front office is that stupid, or you guys are financially that hard up where y'all let him walk or trade him.
We just traded Minka, brother. I don't put nothing past Omar.
Well, Minka is Minka. Minka is a that was a very questionable trade. Traded him back to the Dolphins, where he began his career. But TJ Watt is a generational talent, I can honestly say. Minka Fitzpatrick is a damn good safety, but come on, if you ask me, and I don't mess with either one of them, because they Steelers fans, they Steelers. But if you would ask me if I wanted to keep Minka Fitzpatrick or TJ Watt, who you think I'm gonna keep?
Oh, I mean, obviously we got to keep Watt.
Right, but I think the giving away Minka Fitzpatrick was stupid. Anyway, I think y'all could have kept both, but the Steelers' financial situation better than me. But I honestly think y'all could have kept him, but for some reason y'all traded him away. But y'all not getting rid of TJ Watt, so hopefully y'all are not that stupid.
Yeah. Hopefully we are not that stupid. Hopefully we are not. But if the front office is capable of doing this, I think that they're capable of doing anything. We done already drafted Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, and he plays the same position that TJ plays. That is not a replacement or fix-all for TJ.
No,
Watt.
it's not. We don't know what Jack Sawyer is. You know what I mean? We don't know he gonna be on that level yet.
Know.
So yeah.
I mean, it makes it. My fault. Go ahead.
No.
My fault, Jared. Go ahead.
That's all I was saying. We don't even know, because he was a damn good edge player or outside linebacker in college at Ohio State. Helping the Buckeyes win a championship. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear now. Okay, hang on, Jared. Can
All
you
right.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, cool. Hey, Cadillac, salute, brother. Thank you for coming through, man. Appreciate you
What
coming through,
up,
Cadillac.
Cadillac Red?
Yes, sir. But
But yeah,
yeah,
what
I
I
would
was
hope that
saying
they wouldn't
was,
be that damn.
I'm sorry, brother. There's like a
No, go
delay.
ahead, brother.
But what I was saying was, I don't we don't even know what Jack Sawyer is as far as NFL player. We know he did his thing at Ohio State, but we don't even know. Y'all don't even know what y'all have in Jack Sawyer. So y'all need to go ahead and patch things up with that contract with TJ.
Definitely. Well, yeah. And just kind of finalizing or putting a bow on these Steelers so we can kind of move on to other stuff. Yeah, I am, however, excited to try to see how well our offensive line is going to do. I expect to see a great deal of improvement from them because how this goes is really going to fall on their shoulders. I'm excited to see Troy Fahatanu back. He's going to be our right tackle. Mason McCormick is going to be our right guard. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Zach Frazier, who is our center. I think that he's gonna be really good, and if he stays healthy, I think that he is actually going to get a Pro Bowl vote. I'm just that confident about him. Now, on the left side, I am concerned. We have Isaac Seumalo, who is a veteran, and is supposed to be like our best lineman. But he's been very inconsistent, especially last year. And then we have the enigma that is Broderick Jones. Oh my God. So I have to brace myself every time I talk about Broderick. Broderick Jones is a physically gifted athlete who I will affectionately name just can't get right. Can't get right. If he messes up on the assignments, it's a mental error. He sometimes does not place his hands well. Sometimes he is not aware of what the guy on the other side is actually doing. So these are all really mental things, and I'm really hoping that he's been reviewing film, working on technique. And then physically, he's actually lost some weight, which is really good. That means that he's ready to be fluid and fast as far as just kind of protecting Rodgers' blind side. But my thing about Broderick is if you struggled at right tackle when you had help from the tight end, what in the world makes these people think that he's going to do better at left tackle when he doesn't have any help and he is solely responsible for making sure that the other team's best pass rusher doesn't smack Aaron Rodgers all the time? I don't know how that's going to work out. And to be quite honest with you, I'm a little fearful. But to another fan's point, I think as long as he does better than Dan Moore did, I think we should be okay. But I really don't expect much from Broderick Jones, brother. So that's what I got to say about these Steelers, man. We'll just have to wait and see. I am excited about training camp, though, when guys put on pads and we kind of really get to see what they're made of.
Yeah, that's the best time.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Now, since you graciously came on the show, I mean, if you wanted to talk a few minutes about your Baltimore Ravens, you have the floor, my brother.
Yeah, I'm not going to saturate your show. We'll talk about the Baltimore Ravens. But since you mentioned it,
Go ahead.
yeah, I ain't gonna be long. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. We signed the stud from Georgia, Malachi
Mhm.
Starks, after the Eddie Jackson and uh Marcus Williams
Yeah,
debacle last
yeah.
year. As at
I'm gonna miss them.
even though our defense started getting better toward the end of the year
Mhm.
in the secondary, um, the we was having a rough go of it in the beginning and the mid of the season, giving up long plays. Uh, One of our liabilities we got rid of, just being, it hurts me to say, Brandon Stevens, which I'm proud of, Texas boy from
Mm.
Plano, Texas, former running
Yeah,
back, turned corner. He had a good season. Uh, the 2023 season, that was like his breakout season at corner. But the 2024 season, he was picked on a lot, and it didn't go his way. Um, but shouts out to him. He signed a big contract with the Jets over there with Aaron Glenn. So Aaron Glenn sees something in him. Um, uh, but I say this: our secondary has improved. Of course, we signed uh, uh, old boy from the Green Bay Packers. I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. His name is
you talking
escaping
about
me for the
Jair
moment. But
Alexander?
yeah, Jair Alexander. He was recruited by Lamar Jackson, Louisville boys. So we and plus we bolstered our pass rush by signing the vicious uh, Mike Green from Marshall. He was considered one of the best pass rushers or sack specialists in the draft from Marshall. But he fell in the second round due to personal situations.
Mm.
But he landed
Yeah,
to us, so we taking a chance. So we hoping that he will uh, make a splash with our sack totals this year. And of course, we got Cal Van Noy and Adafe Owe and um, Tavius Robinson.
I can't stand him.
And we hoping we do our thing this year. And then my concern, to wrap everything up, I don't want to be long winded about the Ravens. Is
No, you good,
it's
bro?
kind of like y'all. The offensive line, especially at the guard positions, Daniel Falele, which if you listen to any Baltimore Ravens content creator, like my boy Sip the Tally, Hendo, the Road Podcast, and Lunch Break Hot Takes, brothers like that, the Wonderlick Show. Um, they were very critical of the guard position last year with Daniel Falele. He showed signs of with his 6'8", 330-pound frame, able to get in the way of defenders, but if you put him against a Pro Bowl defensive lineman, like like
Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh oh. Um, and the left guard is going to be a position that everybody is going to be looking at to see who's going to take the position. Since Patrick McCarry signed a contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and don't disrespect to Patrick McCarry, he wasn't all that great. He was a decent option at the left guard. Um,
Hmm.
but we he was getting beat a lot as well. So we signed a boy from LSU, at guard, and we just got some pieces we hope that will fall in, like Andrew Voorhees from USC. We're hoping he take that position, or Ben Cleveland's gonna finally step up and flash and show that he's want to take that position. So yeah, it's definitely like you said, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting going into uh, camp when they put on them pads and see who's gonna take those positions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Shout out to Bart Scott. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this football portion of it with a nice little bow, and we're gonna move on to boxing. Now, one of the guys everyone loves to hate, Shakur Stevenson, is having a fight, of course, with William Zepeda on, July the 12th. So, again, this is a pretty highly anticipated matchup for people that, really follow boxing. And I mentioned in another show that the person who actually is more accurate is going to be the winner of this fight. I stand behind that particular statement because both gentlemen are actually pretty sound defensively. Now, of course, Shakur is better defensively than William Zepeda. But both of these gentlemen, have skills and abilities that can actually offset each other, and both are southpaw. So, again, I think the accurate punching is going to be the thing that actually separates one fighter from the other. What do you think about it?
I think you're right. Excuse me, I'm moving around, bro. But I think William Zepeda is going to be a good scrap for Shakur Stevenson. Even though I'm picking Shakur Stevenson, Shakur Stevenson's skills is going to help him.
Uh-oh, Jared, you still there? Oh, Jared, if you can hear me, you might have dropped off. I can't hear you. Okay, brother. Hey, whenever you can, man, just I'm gonna drop you out. Just come back on in. Okay. So we'll wait. Hopefully my brother will come back. But just kind of getting on the fight. The Again, I think whoever is actually going to be more accurate in that fight has the best chance of winning. I do think that because Zepeda is a bit more aggressive, that could be a factor. Also, Shakur having hand trouble may also be a factor in that particular fight. But honestly, and this is just strictly looking at it from a matchup standpoint, or on paper rather. There we go. All right, can you hear me, man?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
All right, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back in business.
All right. Did you hear what I said about the William Zepeda and Shakur Stevenson?
I heard a little bit, and then the call dropped off.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I was saying that William Zepeda is going to be a definite test for Shakur Stevenson, because William Zepeda is a very competent boxer. Mm-hmm. But of course, I'm picking Shakur Stevenson, but it's going to be interesting bout.
Yeah, I just think that I think Shakur will probably be able to outpoint him. But what I was saying while you were out was that I'm not going to discount the aggressiveness of William Zepeda. I think that because William Zepeda is a lot more aggressive than Shakur would be, that could be a factor in this fight as well. But I just think that Shakur is so skilled and talented defensively that he'll be able to navigate through Zepeda's attacks and then score points at the same time. I am worried about his hands, though. He does have brittle hands, kind of like Floyd Mayweather did. But I think that if, barring anything catastrophic, I think that Shakur should be able to outpoint him. It's going to be a close fight. I would probably say it would probably be like a 7 rounds to 5 round type fight. But I think Shakur will probably still get his hand raised. But this is boxing, and you never know.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Now, another interesting matchup, which I guess is the co-main event, is how they present it. You got Edgar Berlanga versus Hamza Sheeraz, and as I was mentioning in the other show, I think that Berlanga, who is Conor Loco's favorite fighter, I like to tease Conor Loco, bro, because he always goes fed on Edgar Berlanga, boy. He boils Conor Loco hot, boy. He make Conor Loco mad. And for good reason.
Right.
But yeah, Conor Loco's favorite fighter, Berlanga, I think that if he actually fights a disciplined fight, and this is a big old if, man. If he fights a disciplined fight, there should not be a reason that he loses. But Berlanga being Berlanga, he could mess around and mess things up for himself. I think that Hamza Sheeraz, who is actually a skilled fighter, again, a long, lengthy southpaw fighter, has a lot of target as far as like a thin body to hit. And I think if you concentrate your attacks there at the beginning, you're going to reduce his work rate, because that's what he actually uses. He uses pretty good footwork, but he's known, to try to get in there and just keep plowing through and punching through his opponents. If you're able to actually effectively attack his body, clinch if you have to, nullify things if you have to, then you could frustrate him, and then you could also slow him down effectively, and that is what can help you win the fight. Knowing Berlanga, he may get frustrated at one point and do something stupid, and then Sheeraz capitalizes on it, and then Berlanga loses the fight. That is a definite possibility, which, I mean, hey, Berlanga, if he ain't nothing else, he's an entertainer. Whether or not he actually does what he's supposed to, or if he just does something just really wild, either way, you're not going to be bored. So what do you think, Jared?
I got Berlanga in this fight. I've seen weaknesses in Hamza. I've seen him get hurt by Williams, even though he eventually, Hamza got smart and used his length as being the taller fighter, and eventually got Williams out of there. In my opinion, the last fight he fought, he lost.
Okay. I can see that.
The last fight, I'm blanking on the fighter's name, but in my opinion, he lost. But that's Turkey's boy.
Oh yeah,
that's his fighter. But so I think with Edgar Berlanga, Edgar Berlanga needs to take advantage of. I don't think he's going to have the same grit. I don't think Hamza has the type of grit to go toe to toe against a Edgar Berlanga. Because Edgar Berlanga is kind of gritty. He was dumb enough to leave himself open against a powerful Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
And got back up and finished the fight. So I don't
Oh, you know
I
who it
don't
was? I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
It was Carlos Adames.
Yeah, Carlos
Carlos
Adames.
Adames
Carlos
that had that
Adames.
draw.
Yeah, I think Carlos Adames beat him, but his fellow Muslim brothers looked out for him. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
um, but I got Edgar Berlanga in this fight.
Yeah. I should have Berlanga. I just don't trust him, Jared. I just don't trust him. I just think that yes, on paper he should be able to win this fight, and to be quite honest with you, he should because of his performances against Carlos Adames and then Williams. Um, he should probably be able to knock him out, but Berlanga being Berlanga, yeah, he's bound to do something. He's bound to do something that's gonna make you scratch your head or cuss him out or whatever. And he just cannot. His mind cannot be trusted. Um, I'm still gonna have him to probably win because I'm just gonna look at it from a matchup standpoint, and just try to use judgment based off of that. But yeah, I would not be surprised if Berlanga, who may actually begin winning the fight, and then Sheeraz may do something to frustrate him, and then he just goes off the rails and winds up getting either disqualified or he just winds up repeating something that's just insane. Or I'm gonna just not sugarcoat it. He's gonna wind up repeating something that's real stupid and probably get caught in the process and then get outpointed the whole fight. Or if he gets caught the wrong way, he could get he could get TKO'd, not completely knocked out. I think he's got a strong chin, and I don't think that he's actually gonna get knocked out. But I think that he could get TKO'd if he does something stupid, gets caught, because all it really takes is for you to be out of position and defenseless, and one shot from anybody that's a professional can change the whole fight. So that could happen, but I think that Berlanga should win. Should win. I'll emphasize that.
I agree.
Yeah. Now, we'll go ahead and move on to Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, since we mentioned Canelo briefly in the conversation against Berlanga. Um, there are a lot of experts that have a lot of mixed opinions on what's actually going to happen. Of course, they reduced the ring size, and they've also begun a line of questioning to Terrence Crawford, saying that, um, you know, are you going to be able to stand in the pocket and fight Canelo and not run and stuff like that? Uh, you, you and I and several other, educated boxing fans know what that actually means. Um, the art of boxing, and I'm just going to remind everybody who's actually viewing and listening, is this: boxing is an art form where you actually hit and do not get hit in return. It is not rock'em sock'em robots. It is not some slugfest where you sit there and you trade with another guy, um, and see who the last man standing is. Um, People who actually do that for a living do not last long. And then, to be quite honest with you, um, there's not.
Ask Joe Joyce.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, yeah. And now people are throwing him in the people are throwing him in the trash because he took too many hits, and he can't fight no more and all of that. But when he was sitting up there taking all them punches and then he was giving the punches back and putting guys out, everybody was excited and loved Joe Joyce. But now, when it's the other way around, people are not embracing him like they should. This man literally put himself on the line several times to try to win fights and entertain fans. And this is, the lack of respect is what he gets in return, which is crazy to me. Also, boxing doesn't have a system set up to where once guys either can't box anymore or decide that they need to retire, there's not very many systems in place that help them sustain for the rest of their lives. They simply have to fight for these purses and make the most out of it, quite literally. And they're pretty much on their own. Like former promoters and sanctioning bodies and stuff like that, they don't really help them guys like that. Now, I will say that the WBC sometimes will call themselves trying to do outreaches and charities and stuff like that to try to help some of the former fighters. But those are probably the better known or well-known fighters, like the Hall of Famers, and not the guys that were actually like one-time champions or guys that, guys that actually fought that had to hold down regular jobs and all of that, which is the majority of fighters. That they don't do anything for them. But well-known guys, Hall of Famers, stuff like that, they may look out for. Shoot, ain't nobody, people are still not trying to look out for what you call it, Preacher Cologne's family, and then G-Man Gerald McClellan's family. Like
I would say, Gerald McClellan.
Yeah, we have to go out there and, hey, this person still needs help. Let's not forget about them. Send what you can, and then and that money has to go help them. And shoot, now I'm thinking about it. What you call it, Donna Stevenson. Nobody said anything about him, man. I mean, he was Superman at one point, and then nobody just, he has that freak accident with Godsick, in that Godsick fight, and then people just kind of push him to the side. At one point, him and Andre Ward was like a dream matchup. I mean, and then people just throw Donna Stevenson to the side. I would love to be able to hear from his family. And I would love to kind of find out what we can do as boxing fans to help them along as well. Like, let's not forget about these people who, like Deontay Wilder always preaches to us, that put their lives on the line for our entertainment. Like, these people have to actually live through these traumatic injuries and life-changing events and stuff like that. You get to go home. You get to go home and go back to work and do whatever it is you're doing. These people have to live with these types of things that are happening to them. So, let's not forget about that. These are human beings too. So, I could stay on the soapbox about that, brother, but
no, you're not wrong, man, and you need to stay up there a little bit longer because you mentioned Deontay Wilder. The reason why he mentions that because for our entertainment, and to see a good scrap, he's never gonna be the same again because there were some wrongful doings in that Fury fight that no one seemed to believe or care about.
And and we all know why that is. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Anytime that you have a proud and strong black man that is not afraid to represent himself, and let's keep this in mind, y'all. He still has Jay Dietz in his corner, who is a white man. Okay, so the man don't hate white folks. But But just because we love ourselves, and I'm going to speak for myself, him, and anybody who is a proud Black person. Now, I'm talking
Yes,
about all
sir.
over the world, not just America, all over the world. Anybody who is proud and Black, people have a problem with. I don't understand why someone wouldn't be proud enough to love themselves and have to dim their light when they see somebody else coming just because that other person feels uncomfortable. It's not our responsibility to make you comfortable. It's yours. It's you. It's it's you. It's how you feel. We don't have no control over how you feel. You have control over that. And if you see somebody that is Black and has integrity and that is actually proud of themselves, that shouldn't offend you at all. Like, that shouldn't offend you at all. I mean, I think that you would have enough um, self confidence to not, to not be intimidated by that. Shoot, if I see somebody that's strong and proud of their Latino heritage, or they're proud of, hey, I'll even go there. If you're strong and you're proud that you an Irish dude, so be it. I mean, more power to you. I mean, I don't knock that. If you strong and proud to be Asian, nothing wrong with that. But don't get upset at us or try to dim our light when we're out here celebrating ourselves and championing people that actually are strong and have integrity and set good examples, like Deontay Wilder, like Devin Haney, like Earl Spence, like Bud Crawford. Yes, I went there, like Bud Crawford. And I don't think that people should actually just knock that. I you know, but that's not for me to understand. That's for them to figure out.
No lies told, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And again, I cannot reiterate this enough. Just because I love myself does not mean that I hate everybody else. I just love myself. That's it.
They know that the ones that have feelings about you saying that, they know that they don't care. They just want you to be humble. And on
Exactly.
my channel, I already broke down, me and 78 and Coach 67 broke down what that word humble means to those type of folks.
Oh yeah. And y'all check out From a Black Man's Perspective, by the way.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay. But yeah, as far as the fight actually goes, what are your thoughts on Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez? Give me just a second, bro.
No
Go ahead and
problem.
cook.
All right, all right. Well, it's definitely going to be a dangerous fight for Terrence Crawford going up two weight divisions, but um, I still got Crawford because him being a former wrestler, so he's used to dealing with um, adding weight or gaining weight and then losing it. In this instance, gaining weight, um, so he don't have to kill himself to make in my opinion, not to be long winded. I think he on a fat day or the times he's not boxing, he's probably already walking around at that weight anyway. Um, so that's one. Another thing is I think or I believe Chance Crawford has the boxing skills to bother the great Canelo Alvarez especially at this age. Um, And three, I think Terrence Crawford's going to be stronger at that weight than a lot of people think.
Man,
So yeah,
that's the factor that nobody's really looking at.
yeah, because you got to think because the last fight he fought at what, at 154.
Yes, sir.
Uh, I think the reason why he couldn't get the dude out of there is because I think he lost too much. He was trying to kill himself to make that weight, and plus, I don't want to butcher his name. I'm a new.
Uh, I think it's
What was his name?
was it Mark Madoff or something like that? Hang on.
Something like that. But anyway, his style was kind of weird. Like he would go like a herky jerky type style. He would go in and out. But you saw that Terrence Crawford finally got his timing toward the end of the fight. So I think Terrence Crawford is going to eventually adjust. Now, with me saying that, I'm not saying that there may be any a problem with the weight, because Canelo is we don't know what type of Canelo is going to come into this fight. If you know what I mean, I'm gonna put it to you like that.
Yeah, I mean he could be Starburst. The juice is loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to look up this name of this opponent. But yeah. Yeah, kind of depending on, what we actually get from Canelo. Yeah, I think Bud, even at that particular weight, should be able to outbox him. He's gonna be way too shifty for Canelo. He even Canelo at one point even had some trouble with Daniel Jacobs, who you know, who didn't exactly, excuse me, who didn't exactly do anything to like really put Canelo in trouble or anything like that. But at the same time, Canelo had trouble keeping up with him at one point. And then with Bud, you can only times that probably by like maybe 3 or 4. Bud is Bud is way too shifty for Canelo to just kind of bob and move around and try to corner and all of that. I mean, and again, if you have an elusive fighter, it is the other fighter's responsibility to trap and corner that particular fighter. It is not the other fighter's fault if that fighter cannot keep up. Now, an example of this, which I'm sure that these other people would very much love, is when you see someone like oh my goodness, this boy's name just left my head. When you see the Matrix, who is the best fighter, Vasyl Lomachenko, the Matrix, who is so defensively sound and he moves so well and he's so elusive and you can't touch him. He's the Matrix and all of that. He's the best since Muhammad Ali. Now, when he was doing the same things that other fighters were doing, it was no problem. It was amazing. He's just a technically sound fighter, and it's not his fault that these other guys can't keep up, right? So, yeah. And it was Israel Madrimedov. That's who it was.
Yeah, Madrimedov, yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, when Vasyl Lomachenko actually does it, and all the best to his retirement, he was a decent fighter. I'll give him that. He was just overhyped. And I think that's what pissed the rest of us off about him. I don't think that it was Vasyl Lomachenko personally doing anything to us. It's just the way that he was actually hyped. But yeah. And as you can tell, a great example, and people are going to hate this, a great example of taking a very elusive fighter, cornering him and attacking his body was the fight that he actually had with Devin Haney. People seem to believe that Vasyl Lomachenko won that fight because of performances in the later rounds. But unfortunately, he was getting tagged to the body so much at the beginning of the fight, even when he tried to finish strong, it just was not enough. And Vasyl Lomachenko had to go to the hospital for fractured ribs as well. So, do with that information is what you will. But that is a great example of taking an supremely elusive fighter and then cornering him and then taking it to his body. So it can be done. All right. It can be done. Joe Frazier, unfortunately, did to Muhammad Ali their first fight. So it can be done. So, one of the first things that you're taught in boxing is to use angles to cut off the ring for fighters that are actually elusive. It is a boxing fundamental. And if your footwork is not good enough to keep up with somebody like that, whose fault is that? Certainly not the other fighters. You're going to use whatever advantages you have to in a fight to win. That's in a real fight, like a street fight. Whatever advantages you got, you're going to use those advantages to win. So it is what it is with that. I certainly hope.
But there are a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I just want to interject this. A lot of people think Terrence Crawford ain't got no chance against Canelo being already in that, established in that weight class, and probably on the fat day he's probably walking around 190. Yeah. But we going, which I understand you did have to take that into account, but we definitely gonna see.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. And I think, like you said, Jared, Bud's gonna be a lot stronger than what people think. Bud is already strong. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Canelo is gonna feel like he should be able to walk through some of the punches that Bud throws, and then Bud is going to catch him with a shot that's going to get his attention. I'm not going to say that Bud's going to knock him out or knock him down or anything, but I think Bud catches him with a shot that actually gets his attention and is like, oh, this is a little different. So, I would probably be on the lookout.
I believe that as well.
Yeah, I'd be on the lookout for that as well. And to be honest with you, and I'm going to just put this out here, regardless of whether or not Canelo's on the juice, I think that if this goes the way that I think it will, it may wind up being another Floyd Mayweather type situation for Canelo. I think that he just won't be able to keep up, and he's just going to catch punches in the process.
I agree. Knowing again, this is what Crawford's wrestling background is going to train him to add the weight and know how to move with the weight. Because just being real, a lot of boxers, a lot of them add the weight, and then you see them either not move as fast or they're a little slower. With wrestlers, you have to have, and me being a former wrestler, I was a decent wrestler in high school. Once you add the weight, you have to train your body to move with the weight that you've already gained, especially if you're going up in weight. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think that aspect of it is going to be a real good intangible, Jared. Yeah, thank you for sharing and adding that information, brother. Like, yeah, a lot of people aren't looking at that type of a situation. But yeah, I also believe that with that wrestling background, like you were mentioning, you're able to you're able to actually move and utilize that weight like and use that to your advantage as well. I think a lot of people aren't looking at that either. And I think probably the clinching and tie-up game is probably going to be a factor too. Like, having said that, I mean, you can
Yeah,
kind of grip somebody and just kind of wear them down. And then we know that because Canelo just fluctuates in weight like that, he may not, he may not be so receptive to body attacks. So that could be a factor as well. So I would
I'll put you
love
like
to find
this.
out.
I think what Usyk did to Fury, Usyk
Mm-hmm.
coming up from cruiserweight and dominating the well, not dominating, basically doing damn good in the heavyweight division,
Mm-hmm.
being the undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see, I believe you're gonna see Crawford do the same thing. And it's funny we talking about wrestling. Those Ukrainians and Russians, that's what they train. That what they a lot of them train in. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Usyk, a lot of his training methods have wrestling in it as well. So that's
Oh,
why
okay.
Fury could not bully Usyk like he wanted to, because his
Yeah.
footwork, his boxing skills, and he knows he has that wrestling training.
Right. Yeah, because Fury several times tried to put his weight on him and it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, I was on. Me and a few other brothers were saying that yeah, Fury's not going to beat Usyk.
Yeah. I didn't think so either. And then that second time, I would that time before the second fight, I was very convinced that he wasn't going to be able to get that back. So
Facts.
yeah, man, yeah. But man, I have really, really, really enjoyed my time on the show. I got to get ready for work, but man, thank you so much, brother, for coming on the show, man. And please tell people how they could actually meet you and see you.
I mean, well, first of all, you always supporting everybody in the LDBC, so it was my pleasure to support you, man. Thank you for having me as a guest. Yeah, y'all can catch me. We try to have the show every Sunday at 3:30, the Southern Baller Show. Every other Saturday, the Black Man's Perspective. When we can try to get 78, myself and Coach 67 Sports TV on the same page as far as schedules. And then, of course, um, you can see me in the chat of almost every LDBC person, supporting. Trying to get like Big Joseph Townsend, salute boy. Um, but yeah, come check a brother out.
All right. Hey, Tay Tay. Hey. And also check out my brother Coach
Salute, Tay Tay.
67 Sports. Yeah, check out my brother's Coach Sports 67 TV, Coach Sports 67 TV. He has a
Yes.
plethora of shows that he does for the Southern University. He is one of the best content creators for the Southern University. So please check out his content. It is always on YouTube most days. Also check out my brother Cadillac Red and his usual suspect 6. They're usually on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Usually they come on around, I would say, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, around that time. Please check out my lovely sister, Tay Tay, the real queen of MMA and combat talk.
Please do.
also on YouTube and also all social media platforms. Please check out our content. She is second to none as far as combat sports, y'all. And she's a little cutie to boot. So, you have a little bit of eye candy and information.
There you go.
So yes, please check out our content. Now, also check out our General 78 Sports TV, the founder of the LDBC. He usually has shows on, say, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, most weekdays, also on YouTube. So, yes, please check out the quality content of my LDBC family members. And we definitely appreciate you all for stopping by, hitting the like button, and subscribing if possible. All right, this has been another episode of It's Just Me, hosted by Brent Fox, and we'll holler at you.
Y'all be blessed.